Good morning, my brothers and sisters. We are in for a doozy today. It's season 2, it's episode number 34. We're in a chronological walk through the New Testament, through the Gospels, and we find ourselves in Mark today. We're switching books, but we're not switching the time frame. The time frame is Jesus is approaching Jerusalem and is getting more serious as time goes on, and today it's going to be extraordinarily serious. We're going to ask today, what if the cup that the Lord has for me doesn't taste very good? Or maybe I could title this Drinking the Tough Cup. And it's going to rock us foundationally. Do I trust you, Lord? Will you be enough? Will I make it all the way? As Jesus says, here's what following me means. It starts with a couple of knuckleheads, maybe a group of knuckleheads, and it ends with profound teaching. Join me in Mark chapter 10, verse 35. In James and John, and in Matthew, it actually says that their mother, Salome, is a part of this crew. That's in Matthew 20. But I'm going to read it from Mark today. And James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came up to him and asked him and said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." And he said to them, "What do you want me to do for you?" And they said to him, "Grant us to sit, one at your right hand and one at your left, in your glory." Jesus said to them, "You do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink, or to be baptized with the baptism with which I am baptized?" And they said to him, "We are able." And Jesus said to them, "The cup that I drink, you will drink, and with the baptism which I am baptized, you will be baptized. But to sit at my right hand or my left is not mine to grant, but is for those for whom it has been prepared." And when the 10 heard it, the other disciples, they began to be indignant at James and John. All right, let me just talk about Salome. So that may be Mary's sisters. These guys might be Jesus's cousin. Salome is faithful to the end. We find her at the cross. We find her bringing spices to the empty tomb. And by I think it's the property of identity, you know, the one where A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C. It's that sort of the knowledge that we have about her, that she might be Mary's sister. These guys might be her cousins, and they might be using their family influence to get a reward from Jesus. So I blame the brothers. Why? Because the scriptures blame the brothers. In verse 41, it says they were indignant at James and John. The 10 were indignant at James and John, not at their mother. So maybe their mother got put up with this. In Mark, the mother is not even mentioned. So it doesn't really matter either way, because the point of the story is we're getting to this cup. We're getting to the hard cup. So what cup? What does it mean? The cup is what the Lord has for you in the future. Do we trust him with the things that are coming? Now, the cup can be blessing. Now, ultimately, we get him in the end. The Lord is my chosen portion in my cup. So that's good news. The bad news is, and we cannot forget this, because this is coming right down the pike, is the cup that is referred to as the cup of wrath that Jesus has to drink. He's in the Garden of the Gethsemane, and it says, this is in Matthew 26, "And going a little farther, he fell on his face and he prayed, saying, 'My Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but you will.'" So in a sense, Jesus almost asks the same question. So don't we all want the good cup, the satisfaction in relationships, purpose in work, blessings, honor, riches, blessing to your family, health, prosperity in every way? Yeah, I want to sign up for that. Well, what if you get the tough cup? What if there's suffering? What if there's suffering without known purpose, without any specific purpose? That's going to be difficult. What about a purpose I don't understand? What if I get sick and I don't know why? What if there's infirmity before death? How about this in the world? What about there's difficulty in the world? Jesus promises us in John, in this world you will have trouble. What if I have difficulty in my relationships? How about difficulty in the church? So I think this passage is calling into question, what if you get the tough cup? Because we do get the tough cup. And we're asked, Lord, will you be enough? Will I make it to the end? Will I be able to stay faithful? What if there's pain? What if there's physical pain involved, or suffering, or infirmity? What if there's violence against me, or worse, against those around me? How about if my children or my grandchildren or my spouse, what if it's not tough for me, it's tough for them? So what happened to James and John? So Jesus sort of predicts here, James is the first apostle to be martyred. Acts chapter 12, Herod. Remember Herod, he's the one that drowned his own son in his backyard pool. And it says that he laid violent hands on some who belonged to the church. That doesn't sound very pleasant. And then he killed James, it tells us how, with the sword. So James is the first martyr with the sword. John, his brother, knows about it, finds out about it. Maybe he was had to suffer because of that. And John describes himself in the book of Revelation as a tribulation partner, having to patiently endure. So John actually lived a long life, but that probably was no picnic either. Maybe James had the easy job. Both were hard is the point. So the question that we're asking is, am I enough, the Lord? Am I enough when times get tough? What about our future will for us? Lord, do I trust you? Am I all in? I think we need to end today to remember what David said in Psalm 16. The Lord is my chosen portion and my cup. He's my ultimate cup. You hold my lot. The lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Indeed, I have a beautiful inheritance. Why? Because I get you, Lord. My inheritance, I will not be shaken. Why? Because it's ultimately in you. Help me, Lord, to be faithful, to make it to the end. And whatever is between here and there, help me to endure it. Help me to honor you all the way. My brothers and sisters, we might have a tough cup ahead of us, but we get the Lord in the end. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being brave today.